Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the subject of statistics for the class 11th English medium. The chapter is one, that is the collection of data by Vitan Sir. What we studied in the last tutorial. Number one, what is direct inquiry, its advantages, disadvantages. What is indirect inquiry, its advantages, disadvantages, and the difference between the direct and the indirect inquiry. But what we are going to do in this chapter is that we are going to discuss the questionnaire method of collecting data. The method of questionnaire. Now, what is a questionnaire? A questionnaire is a list of logically arranged questions relevant to the object of the study. That is, we have to make a list of the questions which are logically arranged depending on the objective of the study. The space between question is provided for the answers. That means the answers are to be given in the questionnaire itself. No separate piece of paper is to be used. The questionnaire must contain blank spaces for writing down the answers. A list of questions prepared in such a way is called a questionnaire. The method of obtaining information using such type of questionnaire is called method of questionnaire. Now, the questions in the questionnaire should be short and simple. Okay, remember these points. The questions should be short and simple. It should be easy to answer. Just pay attention at the underlined sentences. This method is useful when the field of area is very wide. That means our inquiry or study area is very wide, then we can use the questionnaire method. It saves a lot of time and cost. It is an economical method of inquiry. It can be used for direct as well as indirect. So, paying attention on the underlined sentences, we can understand that the question should be short and simple, easy to answer. It is useful for a wide area. It saves time and cost. It is economical method, and it is used for direct as well as indirect inquiry. Now, whenever we are preparing a questionnaire, we should keep in mind certain things while preparing it. These points we will call it the characteristics of an ideal questionnaire. What kind of questionnaire should it be? I have written down short points here for your understanding and simplicity. Number one, we must have a covering letter or an appropriate title for the better understanding. That is, the covering letter or the title should be given to the questionnaire so that the respondent can understand what we are explaining, what we are studying, what is the questionnaire about. The covering letter contains a short letter explaining the objective and the contents of the questionnaire, and the title itself just explains what kind of questionnaire it is, so it should be there. Second thing, the number of questions should be as few as possible. In short, as few as possible. It just means that if we make our question unnecessarily long, it becomes difficult to answer. And all of us know that if someone gives us a simple questionnaire of 5 pages, of course we are just going to refuse. Sometimes we even refuse a full page questionnaire. We just like to answer maximum 4 to 5 questions when someone asks us to fill up a questionnaire. So make it as small as possible. Third thing, the number of questions should be according to the purpose of inquiry. That means sometimes so few questions will not serve the purpose of inquiry. If I'm inquiring about the educational lifestyle of a student, I will at least need to add 7 to 10 questions, else I will not get a proper response from, or I will not get a proper data from the students. So that just means that we should keep questions according to the purpose, but also as few as possible. Questionnaire should be simple, short, and understandable. That means it should be short, it should be simple, and it should be very easy to understand what we are doing. Fifth one, the arrangement of questions should be logical. That is, It should be from general to specific. Means first you start from some general questions. What's your name? What's your age? What's your occupation? What are you studying? Etc. etc. And then move forward to the specific questions of your area of study. For example, if you are talking about the mobile, then first start with what kind of mobiles they use. Then moving on to what brands they prefer, what apps they use, what how many hours they use, etc. etc. If you directly jump with the specific questions, the person gets irritated rather than build a trust with general questions and then move forward to the specific questions. Sixth, questions of sensitive nature or personal life should be avoided. Don't ask sensitive questions and don't ask personal life questions to the respondent. It is none of our business and respondent may feel irritated or offended and he might not respond to your questionnaire. No calculations should be part of giving the answer. Of course, no one likes maths, especially when they get some free questionnaires like this. Don't ask calculative kind of questions. Don't ask mathematical questions in your questionnaire. Keep it simple. The last one, that questions with yes no or multiple choice should be asked. Very simple. We just love these things. Just say yes, no, just tick the options, just select the ABCD and we are done. So those kind of questionnaires are the best. So whenever it is possible to put yes, no or MCQs, put them in the questionnaire to make it simple, short and easy to understand. Now look at an example of a questionnaire which is already given in your textbook, but I have copied it here. This is a specimen questionnaire for collecting information of the study habits of 12 standard students of Gujarat state. Now this is the heading. That means a title should be there. Now as you can see, most of the questions have either fill in the blanks or ticking. For example, name of the students, of course we know our name. The gender is female or male, then place, village, city. See the general kind of question it is. Then it is now gradually moving forward to specific. For example, school, granted, non-granted, then the stream, arts, commerce, science and other. You see we are just ticking the options here. The medium of study, of course, then the school timing, it is a more specific. It gets more and more specific. How much time do you spend for your daily school homework? That means it's not calculative. We just have to write the hours. Average time spent daily for reading and preparation. Okay, now this is a bit calculative, but it is not that much calculative question. If you can avoid it, avoid it. But this is a very important question for this topic of survey, so we have to add the mode of entertainment. Once again, we have the tick boxes. How much time do you spend for entertainment? Okay, average hours of daily sleeping time, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. So the survey is done. So as you can see, the most of the questions were very short. Either we had the check boxes or we just had to write a figure of some sort. So this is the kind of a question which only takes 5 minutes to fill. So make questions of this kind which can take maximum 5 to 10 minutes to fill, not more than that, because only those kind of questionnaires will be useful for collecting the data. Okay, now we will move forward to two types of questionnaires. One is questionnaire by post and second one will be questionnaire by enumerator. We will start with understanding the questionnaire by post. Okay, now what is a questionnaire by post? That after preparing questionnaire, it is sent to the respondent by post with the request of sending the reply in a fixed time period. Okay, getting my point here? We prepare a questionnaire and we send it to respondent by post and we request them that please reply us in a fixed time period. That is questionnaire by post. Also with the questionnaire we also send a blank envelope with appropriate stamp and the address of us with questionnaire so that we can get the returning reply. That means the respondent should not pay money for sending us the reply back. Of course, no one will do that. We have to send them an envelope, blank envelope with the stamp affixed and the address written properly so that they can send their replies back to us. The questions of this questionnaire should be simple, easy to understand, and self-explanatory because the respondent will be answering them himself. the respondent is not going to get any help from anyone. So if we give any kind of a complicated or ambiguous question in our questionnaire, it will be difficult to answer. So we should keep it very simple, easy to understand and self-explanatory, that our questions itself should explain what we are trying to say here. These questionnaires are sent by WhatsApp, email and Google Forms too. That means in today's electronic era, we can send it by WhatsApp, email and Google Forms. Okay, now let us look at the advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that it is useful when the investigation is very vast, the area is very big. Also, it is simple and it provides large amounts of information with very less expenses. The expense which we incur for this kind of things with this method is very small. We don't spend any extra money except printing the questionnaires and affixing the stamps on the postal covers. By this method, investigator can get information from respondents of those areas where it might be difficult to reach personally or by telephone. Some places are not available personally, some places telephone lines are not available, but Indian Postal Department has reach everywhere in the India, so it becomes easy to go there, not go there personally, but send a post. The disadvantages are actually bigger than the advantages. If the respondents are illiterate or non-cooperative, they don't want to answer, we can't get the answers. Also, sometimes information provided by respondents may not be correct, or they may return incomplete or blank questionnaire to the investigator. It happens because we are not personally available there, we are not there personally. So sometimes it happens that respondents don't answer, they send us incomplete records or they give us the wrong information. Also, there might be a loss of questionnaire or the delay in getting information because of the laziness of the respondents. Sometimes we get such posts at our home and then we forget to answer them. Of course, we are not that diligent or sincere about answering questionnaire from XYZ people. So we may not send it back, or we may send it back a very late. So that way the information is lost. Also, if no one gives the introduction or the information about the questionnaire to the respondent can't answer it properly. It is the fact. So sometimes respondent may misunderstand the questions asked in the questionnaire and may give us the incorrect information or the other information which is bad for us. So to remove the disadvantages of the questionnaire by post method, we come forward to the questionnaire by enumerator method. Here enumerator is the person who collects the data. So when an enumerator themselves contact the respondents and fill in the questionnaire, that is called questionnaire by enumerator. That means a person contacts the respondent, fills the questionnaire by asking the questions to the respondents. That is called questionnaire by enumerator. And in this method, the questionnaire is not sent, but the enumerators themselves carry it to the respondents. That is questionnaire by enumerator. That a person takes the questionnaire, goes to the respondent, asks the questions to the respondent, collects the answer and writes down the answer in the questionnaire himself and bring back those filled up questionnaires. That is called the method of questionnaire by enumerator. The enumerator should be, because the enumerator has the maximum work to do, he should be polite because he should talk properly with the respondents. He should be enthusiastic, he should be helpful, he should be intelligent, and mostly he should be honest to get the correct answer and fill the questionnaire. An honest person is very important because this honest person might fill the questionnaire without even meeting the respondents by just writing down imaginary answers in the questionnaire, and that way we will get the wrong information. This way, getting a questionnaire filled up becomes ensured because the person himself goes and fills up the question. At least we don't get incorrectly filled or half filled or blank questionnaires back. All of the questionnaires will be filled properly. Now, the advantages and disadvantages of this method, we will start with the advantages. Of course, the complete, correct and more relevant information can be obtained. Enumerator can get proper information by giving proper explanations. There is no problem of loss of questionnaire as questionnaire is with the enumerator themselves. The information is more reliable than the questionnaire by post. Okay, that's all for the advantages. We will start with the disadvantages now. Sometimes it is difficult to get expert enumerators. Of course, enumerators need to be experts, and always there is a lack of expert people in the world. Due to the large number of enumerators, remuneration paid is very high, so it is quite costly. It is very difficult task to train the untrained enumerators. Okay, it is difficult and costly to train the people if they are not trained, and sometimes it is not necessary that even after training they will work properly, efficiently, honestly. So sometimes information is not reliable. This method becomes unsuitable when the respondents are spread over a wide area. If I am talking about the whole of India, then of course I don't have the money to send enumerators to each and every place of the Indian subcontinent. Enumerators have to adjust with the convenient time of respondents. Respondents are not available 24 by 7. Enumerators have to contact them continuously, ask for their times, and meet them personally, which is quite a difficult task. So in the case where respondents are uncooperative, it becomes very difficult to finish the inquiry within the stipulated time. Okay, my dear friends, I will end my tutorial here. Today we studied about the method of questionnaire, the characteristic of an ideal questionnaire, questionnaire by post, questionnaire by enumerator, its advantages and disadvantages. Next time we will complete the chapter by studying about the secondary data. My dear friends, till now we have only studied the primary data. Next time we will be talking about secondary data, what is the secondary data and its sources, and the precautions while using the secondary data. That would be the content of the next tutorial. Till then, stay tuned, stay home, stay safe.